Welcome everybody to Lebanon Midway Speedway here for a great night of racing. Gonna go ahead and prayer. Gonna give it to Super Shane up here.
I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here, and what a great night and a great car count, great crowd, and appreciate you guys. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for another great day, Lord. Lord, we thank you for the important thing you did for us, died on the cross, Lord, the greatest showing of love. Lord, tonight I just ask that you just be with all the fans and the drivers and the staff and keep them safe. Lord, I pray that you be with our men and women that are fighting for our military, for the freedom that we have. Lord, I pray that you bring them home safely. Lord, I thank you especially for my father that is here tonight. Lord, I thank you for all the fathers, Lord, that we have. They're such big role models. And Lord, I pray for the ones that are missing their fathers. And Lord, once again, we thank you for being who you are. And we thank you for a great night of racing. In Jesus' name, amen. Please.
Gonna go ahead and sprinkle the track with a little bit of water and get ready for our heat races tonight. It'll be pure stocks up first, young guns, late models for 10 laps, Midwest mods, super stocks, B mods to round off the heat races. First heat on the track now is the Show Me Dirt Pure Stocks. Trenton Houston is on the pole with Clint Gooden in the 8 to his outside. Row 2 is going to be Robert White in the 5 and Charlie Sloan in the 5S. My mistake there. I was on last races checking on everything. So pure stock heat race number 1 is going to be Trevor Ellington in the 42 and Mason Beck in the 41 to his outside. Todd Mock in the 8 and Trent Houston in 4th. Row 3 is going to be Chris Tonley in the 71 and Derek Lamp in the 174. James Reedus in the 0 and Robert White in the 5 to round off the field in row 4. 8 laps the distance. Sun's peeking out over the horizon, peeking out behind a cloud as we're getting ready here. Lights are out now, and we're going to get our first race in of the night in the Pure Stocks. Sun's in, sun's out. Everybody's going to have fun going off into 2 on the restart. So here we go. Trevor Ellingson, and Mason Beck in the 41. And we're racing for heat race number 1 of the night. Drivers being very careful, a little bit of contact. 3.5 wide as they come off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Looking like the low side has worked in a little bit better than that middle and top side. Top's looking very slick up on the top. Little bump, little push, bump draft down the back straightaway. Little help coming off of turn 2. But right now, Trevor in the 42 has pulled that gap. And then James Reedus in the 0. All the way from the last row, started 7th. He's made his way up to 2nd. Trent Houston on the bottom of the 19 with the 71 of Chris Tonley. And they're going to be 3 wide. Oh, for a second there. Able to get that situated. But that is the battle for 4th for anybody watching on Show Me Dirt. Now the battle for 5th. Track looks very slick at the moment. We saw that in race 1. First race of the night. Until the track gets slicked off. Get the top slicked off at least a little bit. They get to that fresh dirt. Still a great battle going on there for the 4th, the 5th spot. Next time by is going to be the white flag. So Trevor, the 42 out front. Does James Reedus have anything for him? They're working that bottom lane. That seems to be where everybody's liking at the moment. There's going to be a spin in 3 and 4. We're going to see if they're able to make it back. We're going to have to hurry. Caution is out. Spin for the 5. Coming back to the white. We almost made it. That's Robert White. Single file, 1 lap shootout to decide the heat race. Here we go. Lights are out to finish heat race 1 for the Pure Stocks. Trevor in the middle of 3 and 4. He fires. Gets not a great restart, though. James underneath him. We've seen the bottom lane work. He's going to get sideways in front. They make contact. Around the 42 goes. Everybody able to avoid. And James Reedus takes the lead after a little bit of contact. But checkered is out. James Reedus into 0 is going to take the heat race win in the pure stocks. So James Reedus all the way from 7th to the lead. Chris Tonoli in the 71 comes home 2nd. And Trent Houston in the 19 to round off the top 3. Heat race 2 is going to roll out on the racetrack now. It's going to be Charlie Sloan in the 5S and Richard Adams in the 32 to his outside. Road 2 is going to be Greg Dingstra in the 13 and Derek Davis in the 14. 28W, Michael Wilbury. And Jeff Reed in the 23R. Running out, starting 4th row, all by his lonesome. It's going to be Austin Wilson in the 19. And we're racing for heat race number 2 of the Show Me Dirt Pier Stocks. Great restart there for Richard Adams around the outside line. Is he able to hold it at the bottom? Seems to be slick, and they're going to go around. Tight touch. Just a little touch. Both cars should be okay to get back running, but caution is thrown, and they're going to have to redo it once again. If we're going to look on the Show Me Dirt replay, and for anybody watching on the live stream, we got replays on Show Me Dirt on YouTube. It's a good restart, pretty even. They went off into 1, and the 5S just got a little bit through the slick. Charlie Sloan trying to find the grip, went around, tried to stay off of Richard on his outside. And right now with this track being as slick as it is, trying to knock off the slick on top of the racetrack till it finds some grip. Man, the sun has really popped out. Hopefully that helped dry it just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and double them up.
It's almost sunset, Shane. We got this.
So that's a new front row. Greg Dingstra in the 13. Dykstra. They fire back green. Dykstra on the bottom. Going to try to use Richard up just out of the groove just a little bit. Going to be able to clear down the back straightaway. Now does Adams try to roll the outside line. We saw the bottom work in the first heat race, but it seems like it's the slickest now for this second heat. Good race for second and fourth. 3 cars under a blanket for the lead. Dykstra in the 13 out front. The 14 of Davis. Trying to roll the bottom, got a little bit sideways. And Richard Adams is third. They're going to be 3 wide, almost fourth for third. But the battle is for the lead. Dykstra and Davis. Almost a dead heat at the stripe. Seems like the outside line is the preferred one, but Dykstra gets loose. Greg trying to roll that middle lane. Just doesn't have the rear grip. And new leader at the line. It's going to be the 14 of Derek Davis. And Dykstra's going to go around. Everybody's still able to avoid. Trying to get back going. We're keeping it green for the moment. All by himself. And caution's going to wave. So caution waves. Going from the lead to a spin. not the heat race that he wanted. Greg Dykstra in the 13. We're going to double up this time at the line. So we're going to see that battle again between the 14 and 32.
Driver.
Halfway through, 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. And heat race 2 for the Show Me Dirt Pure Stocks. 23, Jeff Reed. He's going to be on the bottom now. Let's see, can he get a good restart? We see the bottom lane seem to be working until that slick spot. But Davis fires back green. Good restart for all, really low, but got through the little jumps and bumps down to the bottom. Kind of washed up. Now Adam's going to try to roll the outside. It's the battle for second, now third. They get single file. Now where does Adams go with it? The bottom lane seems to be better, but you can't go right through them. Big gap for Davis. Adams made that mistake, went to the bottom, washed up through the slick. 2 laps to go now. Adams trying to hold on to it. That car looks like the handling has gone away with it. Really tight through the middle. And has lost it on the exit. Then the 23 is going to go to the bottom. Jeff Reed trying to make that pass. Going to lose a little bit of time. Battle is for third on the racetrack, but out front, all by his lonesome, Derek Davis in the 14. He's going to come off a turn number 4 and take the Show Me Dirt Pure Stock Heat Race number 2 win. It'll be Richard Adams in second. Give you the 23 of Jeff Reed in the 23R, the 17 Austin Wilson, and rounding out the field is Michael in the 28W. Young Guns for their 1 heat race of the night. Kyle Kraus in the 777. To his outside is going to be Lauren Heinlein in the 12. Road 2 is going to be Ribbon, the Ribbon car. But we're green. Lineup was a little messed up there, but we're racing for the heat race with the Young Guns. Only 5 cars out on track. Got a total of 6. So the Young Guns, the Driven to Win Young Guns, 18 and under. All these drivers have helped build these cars with the Driven to Win program by Tim Day. These kids bring their cars, he helps them build them. Cool opportunity to learn how to work on race cars and work on your car, and also get to race them on fun Friday nights like this. And usually one of the better shows that we always see out here. Had a close finish on the 5th. But now the battle for the lead, Kyle Kraus in the 777. With Maddox Dunn in the 9 right behind. Next time by is going to be the white flag. Does Maddox have anything for him? Going to try the outside line, kind of through the middle with the front wheel drive cars, helping to get loose. But he runs low on the straightaway. The hood's a little bit flopping on that 9 machine. Could be helping with the front downforce there. But that car is good through the corner. But Gile has the exit. White flags in the air. Gile with a big wing out in front. Maddox in the 9. Final corners. Can Gile hold him off? Good corner for Maddox. Kyle Kraus gets the win in the Driven to Win Young Guns. Oh, contact. One to the outside wall on the exit of 4. Just a little touch I'm hearing. We can get a replay on the Show Me Dirt replay. Don't think it was hard contact, so that driver should be able to get back going. That was the 12. You see on the replay, Lauren in the 12. Gonna get her fixed up. Just a little bit of contact between her and the 22 of Devin McAllister. Next up will be the late models to roll out on the racetrack for their heat race. It'll be a 10-lap run. As late models are rolling out on the racetrack, want to give a shout out to Jesse Tackett in the late models. It is his 20th birthday tonight. He will be in heat race number 2, so we can talk about it in a little bit. He'll be starting on the pole in heat race 2, but for heat race number 1 for the Ozark Limited Late Model Series, it'll be the USA 1 of Chris Hawkins. To his outside is going to be the 53 of Kevin Yoon. And row 2 is going to be Chris. (13C) of Chris Inchman. And to his outside is going to be Mike Hammond and the 115. Row 3 is going to be Ben Piper in the 13. And starting 6th is going to be Dallas Sales in the 777. Rounding out the field, it's going to be Eli in the 25. But with the limited late model series, the Ozark Limited Late Model Series, these are crate motors. So 602s or 604 crate motors. So not like what you'll see from World of Outlaws, a little bit more affordable. And usually better racing, since they're not so high dollar as much as that. Come play, have some fun with it. New series starting up. we're going to try to work in the racetrack just a little bit more for everybody. Get it to the late models' liking since they are the big show tonight. Usually the late models you don't really see anymore. They're more of a traveling car no matter where you go. Very few tracks have them as a local series. So it's cool that we have them here tonight at the Lebanon Midway Speedway. Now we're going to go ahead and double them up. We're getting ready to go racing. Ozark Limited Late Model Series presented by Aerovision. Heat race number 1 is green. Dead heat across the stripe. Off into turn 1. Hawkins going to take the early lead. Right on his back bumper. Ute in the 53 looking to go underneath. Got a little bit of a wiggle there. Upset the car. Now the next battle on the track is for third. That's the 13 around the outside. Chris in the 13C. Trying to roll the outside. Doesn't seem to be working like we saw from the pure stocks earlier. These late models all seem a little bit tight as they go off into the corner. But here comes Eli in the 25. Working the bottom lane. That thing looks hooked up really good on the bottom. Just trying to be smart and easy with it through the heat race. Is not trying to cause too much trouble. We can see how rough it is off into turn 1. Almost a little contact in the back, but closest on the racetrack now is the battle for second between the 53 and 1. Ten laps, the longest heat race of the night, so we're going to see how much that these late models change the track surface. But they definitely go into the corner, trying to pitch it sideways. As on the Show Me Dirt live stream, we're watching Chris Hawkins in the USA number 1. See how rough it rides through the bumps in turn 1. Thomas, next lap, if you can leave it on turn 1. I want to show those ruts as they go through it. White flags in the air, though, for Chris Hawkins. See as they go through 1. There, the 53 went around it to avoid it. Everybody's trying to go around them. So Eli, he's worked his way up to 4th, but heat race 1 winner for the Ozark Limited Late Models is going to go to Chris Hawkins in the USA 1. Track tonight. Track tonight looking a little bit different than we saw on the 5th. Seeming like it's liking the higher lane up top. But rolling out now for heat race number 2 is the birthday boy of Jesse Tackett for his 20th birthday in the 5. And to his outside is going to be Mark Tackett in the 4T. In row 2 is going to be Camden Perry in the 14. And to his outside is going to be the 3T of Ben Tackett. In row 3 is going to be Eric Asmussen in the 10. And the 404 of Miller Roundtree to round off the field. Here we go. Heat race number 2 of the Ozark Limited Late Model Series is green. It's a Tackett affair there inside the top 4. 3 Tacketts in the field. It's going to be Mark taking the early lead ahead of Jesse. Jesse looking to give himself a good birthday present with a heat race win in second right now. Let's see how much these late models throw around the body. have to really throw it off into the corner to get them sideways. Usually we're seeing late models, like in Touring Series. They usually are on bigger racetracks, Midway. Not the biggest of dirt tracks, which makes it really racy as we're seeing the battle for second. Camden Perry in the 14 trying to roll the bottom. Does get around Jesse, but Jesse's going to do the crossover off into one through the bumps and dumps. But now Perry to second. As I was saying, usually late models are on bigger tracks, so you know the aero matters and how they drive it. They're more wide open. Here, you're really using the brake and pitching the car in there sideways to get it rotated. As now Jesse's still on the bottom. He's got the 404, the Miller Roundtree. Run the outside, it jumps the cushion. Not going to be able to make that work. As we watch it off into one, you can see how much they go into the corner and just kind of throw the rear end around. Good battle trying to roll the outside line. Here we go. So move Miller in the 404 to third. 6th to third. That's going to be a good points, passing points tonight for him. Next time by is going to be the white flag for Mark Tackett and the 4T. Took the lead early. Took it away from Jesse Tackett. And now is looking for the Heat Race 2 win. So we've seen that car be fast. How much is this track going to change as he's going through 3 and 4 for the final time? Mark Tackett in the 4T is going to win the Ozark Limited Late Model Series presented by Aerovision. Heat 2. Good racing we're seeing from the late models. You can see the track how it developed there. They're starting to get more up the racetrack. So as we get later on into the night, that top might go away, bring that bottom back to it. And it's going to be a lot of throttle control around the bottom. Well, that's going to do it for the late models. Up next is going to be the Midwest Mods for 8 laps. There's going to be 3 heat races for these.
Midwest Mod heat number 1. Thank you for being here. 8 laps will be your distance. Top 3.
Zaylin Tackett is going to lead them to it in the 3T. Randall Cushing in the 444R in second. Row 2 is going to be Corey Wilson in the 15 and Tony Fincher in the 1. Shannon Geller in the 7G is going to be 5th. Austin Dixon in the 27. And rounding out the field is going to be 8K of Tyler Knudsen. We're getting ready to go racing. Heat race 1 for the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods is green. We're 3 wide already, almost 4, 3.5, 4 wide. It is a crazy mess into turn 1. Tyler's going to have to try to avoid. Well, that was a crazy start. We were 3.5 wide everywhere. Knudsen, the innocent bystander there, should be okay. But the one spin from Austin Dixon, that will be the end of his heat race. Here we go.
Is that right?
Gonna try to get the lineup fixed here.
Single file, come back to original restart.
Gonna be an original restart since we never got a lap done.
44, front row. 3 and 44, front row.
15.
Attempt number 2 at the first heat race for the Midwest Mods. Zachary and Randall going to lead them to it. Work back green. Just about as crazy of a restart. We're going to be 2.5, 3 wide into turn 1. They're all washing up the racetrack. 3 wide, 4 wide, back to 3. They're all everywhere. Randall makes contact. Shannon through the middle, trying to avoid it. But we completed lap 1. Midwest Mods are going at it here in the first heat race for them. As we Corey Wilson in the 15 taking the lead. Tyler Knudsen and the 8 rolling the bottom lane. Here comes Shannon Geller in the 7, looking in 3rd. We saw Knudsen roll the outside lane in that 8K last race to take the win. Was able to roll the outside line out around the 2 leaders. And really never looked back after running it, but right now Corey Wilson's kind of running Tyler's line, and they're running about the same speed it looks like. Tyler's not gaining anything on Corey, but they're really getting up the racetrack, picking up the left front tires. They know not to go mess around on that bottom lane into 1. Top 3, top 4, they're all going back for it. But the best battle on the racetrack is for 5th between the 44R picking up the left front and Zachary Tackett. That was both the front row. Look at Randall pick up the left front. I mean, he's saving tire money right there with that left front in the air. It's not even touching the ground ever. He is saving money with that left front. I'll give him props. That thing, it's got great drive. But now as we go back to your leaders, Corey Wilson in the 15 has now gotten that gap shortened by Tyler for the lead. White flag's in the air though. Tyler Knudsen, does he have anything? Tries the bottom lane into 1. Doesn't look like the grip's there. So Corey Wilson in the 15 for the final time. He's going to win the heat race number 1 for the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods. Still the battle into 3 between Rhodes and Tackett. Oh, in the tire barrier, or he may have avoided the tire down there, the infield tractor barrel from picking up the left front. May have been able to avoid it.
Great job. That was my bad. Thanks for being patient. Great job. 44 is definitely going to need some body work.
Heat race number 2 for the Midwest Mods. It's going to be Sam Keller in the 21K to lead him to it. Then on his outside is going to be James Heinrichs in the 10. Row 2 is going to be Aiden Tackett in the 3D and John Newell in the 14. Bobby Bryant in the 70, Caleb Rhodes in the R4. Round the field is going to be Ben Newell. Now we're racing for heat race number 2. Is it going to be a crazier restart or a crazier start than we saw? We're back to that 4 wide racing. 4 wide racing, 3 wide racing. Back to the bottom. Ooh, that's going to be tight into 3. Trying to avoid the tractor tire. The whole booth is going crazy up top. Ben is really working the bottom lane. Went from last to 3rd in 1 lap. Working the bottom. There's going to be a spin on turn 2. And nowhere for the 14 to go. Caution's going to be out. We're going to re-rack them once again. That was pretty crazy as we get the replay on Show Me Dirt. Looking at the replay on Show Me Dirt, the 10, all by himself through the slick. And then hard hit for the 14 into the door of them.
Your lineup is going to be
John, nowhere for him to go, but James, that is going to be his one spin. So he's going to have to try to do it from the back, starting in the main. I just want to give a shout out to our little flag man down there, Draven, who has been waving the yellow flag. I see you down there. He's been doing a great job. And if Keith ain't too careful, I think he might be getting replaced by Draven down there. I see you giving a thumbs up. There you go. We can see his head on Show Me Dirt. Look up just behind you. I don't know if you can see the cameras on the... You can see that yellow flag waving, but he's been doing a great job. Yeah, Keith's going to have to watch it. He's going to get replaced here soon. Draven is waving that thing. He's still waving under yellow. Keith is not, so I don't know. So Ben Newell all the way from last, which was 7th. He's driven from 7th to 3rd here. Does he have that same opportunity to go to the bottom after the choose? And if he does, how aggressive is he going to be? We know he's probably got at least top three speed from what we saw early getting through the traffic, but is he going to be patient, or is he going to try to get it as quick as possible for the heat race win? He's looked strong. Still Sam Keller out front in the 21K. Had a good start. Not too much challenge throughout it. All right, let's go ahead and try it once again. Sam Keller in the 21K. Caleb Rhodes in the R4. And Ben Newell is going to roll the bottom in the 83. Racing once again. He's going to go back to the bottom lane. Is it good enough? It looks like he's going to be almost clear for a second. Sam lifts. So Ben to the lead. And Sam struggling on the bottom lane. It's not working out as well for Sam from the lead to 4th. He's dropped back, rolling the bottom lane. Caleb gets really tight, run the outside line. Here comes the 70 of Bobby Bryant. looking for any opening to make his move. All over the back bumper, trying to be cautious with it now. Not want to run all the way up, but doesn't want to go to the bottom lane. He's going to try to get that right front as close as he can to the left rear and just wait for a mistake. If not, we might have to see a slide job for that second spot. He's going to go up the racetrack, drive down the hill. It just doesn't have the grip through the slick. If you're not on the outside lane, it just doesn't have the grip right now. That is the best bet on the racetrack we know. Bobby is doing all he can. And just right now it's so top dominant. He might try a bottom lane here. It'll be next time by will be the white flag. So Ben Newell out front. Caleb Rhodes in the R4. Trying to hold off Bobby Bryant in the 70. But Ben from last to first with 1 lap to go in the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods. He was up to third by the end of lap 1 and in the lead by lap 4. Ben Newell takes the win in heat race 2 for the Midwest Mods. On the racetrack now is going to be Jesse Tackett. He's going to be doing double duty in that 5T. Carter Jackson in the 65 JR. And row 2 is going to be GC Newell in the 84. And Derek Messer in the 22. In row 3 is going to be Josh Cruzen in the 5. And Corey Henson in the 6 to round off the field, and we're racing in heat race 3. 84 JC Newell trying to roll the bottom lane just like Ben did in a little bit favorable spot. First lap, give it to Jesse. Birthday boy himself. Gets up the racetrack. He's really working the outside line. It's worked out for him so far. If he's able to keep the outside line, we saw it work out before. But JC's trying to roll the bottom lane, just doesn't get the exit. You see Jesse just too tight. He's going to make the mistake. It got way too tight on him. And now JC Newell right back to the lead. Jesse back to second. Tried the bottom lane, it just didn't work out for him there. Now the battle is for second. Carter Jackson in the 65 junior. Jesse Tackett in the 5T, trying to roll the outside lane, kind of picking up that left front tire. That is low budget. That is trying to save the left front tire. If you're picking it up, that is low budget. Trying to save that left front tire. Right now, everybody's migrated to the outside line, at least the top 3. In 5th, Josh Cruzen trying to roll the bottom lane. And it's not hurting him too bad. Lap time wise, he's only a 10th, and he's working the bottom lane in every time he does it. But next time by at the line is going to be the white flag. Final lap in the heat races for the Midwest Mods. JC Newell took the lead roll on the bottom, has went to the top ever since. 2 out of 3 heat races going to go to a Newell. JC Newell in the 84 takes the Liquidators Midwest Mods heat win. Next up's going to be the Super Stocks out on the racetrack. They got their 2 heat races, 8 laps the distance. Tim Brown's going to lead them to it in the 111. And Derek Brown in the 11 to his outside. Row 2 is going to be Mark Davis in the 56 and Terry Williams in the 27. 164, Michael Muskrat. And rounding off the field is going to be Logan Thompson in the 16. I think after race number 1, this is my favorite class, to be honest. It's the Super Stocks. We had a photo finish at the end of last race. We had in this one, 3 of these cars finished inside the top 5 last race. So this could be a heat race to watch. Tim Brown led race 1 all the way until a few laps ago, made a mistake and spun. Mark Davis won the photo finish. We're racing for the Macadoodle Super Stocks Heat Race 1. Derek Brown on the outside. Mark Davis is going to go for a spin on the exit of 2. Going to keep it going though. Trying to get it back going. Keeps it green. Great job as we have a new leader. That's Derek Brown in the 11. Tim Brown really struggling there through the middle. The track is getting gripped up. It's getting really tight, and if you're not on the bottom lane, it seems to struggle for the Super Stocks. The 27 is going to go for a spin, throw some dust in the air. Photo. Videographer down there, Photo, had to scramble. Could have got a cool shot through the smoke, but keeping it green, Super Stocks. We've seen a spin from a few other heat races, and they haven't been able to keep it green. Right now, Derek Brown still out front. Tim Brown in the 111 trying to run him down. But all the way from the back, Michael in the 164 has driven down the top 2. Just nice, low and slow on the bottom lane. 27 around again in 3 and 4. Are we going to be able to keep it green this time? Nope. Caution is in the air, and we're back under yellow. Alrighty, leading back to it, Derek Brown in the 11. Tim Brown on his left rear. And Michael Muskrat in the 164 on his right rear, back green. Now that Michael's reeled in, is he going to be able to roll the outside? It doesn't look like it. He doesn't like that outside lane, which is kind of shocking. We saw it work out so well in the late models and Midwest mods, but these Super Stocks aren't going up there yet. I would make a comment about the motors, but I'm not too sure on these. I don't know if they're crates or not. But that could be a possibility why the outside doesn't work and the bottom is working. But Mark, there you go. That's a good battle. Tim Brown got a great corner there, reeled in a lot. Really pitching it sideways on entry, getting it to the bottom, straightens up to the middle. And then coming off low, white flags in the air. Could we see another photo finish in the Super Stocks? Tim Brown in the 1, Derek Brown in the 11. Tim Brown going to try to roll the outside line. We saw it in race 1 for the photo finish. Not going to be able to do it. Give it to Derek Brown. Tim Brown in 2nd. And I didn't see who was able to get 3rd. But overall, great race. Through and through. Macadoodle Super Stocks putting on a show here. Great first race. So kids out there in the grandstands, keep in mind, look out for the super stocks. Pick your favorite car. These are the cars that are going to be throwing the frisbees that if you catch at intermission, if you catch their car number, you will be able to go down there if they win. So make sure you guys are on the lookout. Pick your favorite car out here as we're getting ready to go green. Ace O'Neill in 2A, Kevin Brown in the 112, Mike Colton C4. As we're trying to get them all double up here.
2A, hold your
We're getting ready to go green.
2A, hold your pace. 44 still.
And we're racing for the McAdoodle Super Stocks. Heat race 2, as there's contact in the back. The 4C might have a left rear problem. That thing is out of the body. It is smoking. The rear end might be out of it. But Ace O'Neill out front. He's the driver that rolled the outside line to a T around the outside. Tried to make it a race, but the battle is for the lead between Kevin Brown as they're going to be slow on the bottom. Not going yellow yet. Caution's out once again. I believe Kevin Brown was able to inherit the lead there. Trying to get them doubled up once again. Yeah, as I mentioned before, these will be the drivers. The Superstock class will be the ones throwing the frisbees like we saw in race 1 from the modifieds. That they all have their car numbers on it. So they will throw it to the grandstands. So kids, be on the lookout for it. Pick your favorite driver, try to grab his frisbee. We're going green for heat 2. It's Kevin Brown out front, Ace O'Neill in his left rear, and the 40. On a right rear, green flag back in the air, racing once again. Ace trying to roll the bottom lane. He was the one driver last race who was able to roll the outside, made that photo finish, but he's run the bottom lane. We've seen the top work for Kevin, but now he's in the middle. But you see the uniqueness in the different bodies here that we've seen from Heat Race 2. See Ace, kind of the normal body style, we'll say, for the Super Stocks. You see the 21 on the bottom. That's a Mustang body. You can definitely tell by the roof. I look at that roof every day with my car being a Mustang. But that's some of the cool things that you can see from the Super Stocks and the Pure Stocks. You can build their own bodies, make it unique however they want it. Kevin Brown out front, actually running it pretty straight on the high line. Goes in there not too hard, pretty straight, and gets a good drive. As long as you don't drive into the corner, spin in the tire, it seems pretty well so far. Not the top lane is working, but you can see the gap. Whole straightaway for Kevin. Out in front, white flag's gonna wave from Keith the flagman. Kevin Brown on the 112. Took the lead on the high side. Never left the high side. And he's going to come off of 4 and win Heat 2 for the McAdoodle Super Stocks. So that's going to do it for the Super Stocks. Now we move on to the B mods. 8 laps the distance for the B mods. We're going to water down the track just a little bit. Try to get a little less slick up there. Out on the racetrack, trying to work it in after we watered it down just a little bit. The 14C, Cody Crabtree and Waylon Dimmitt in the 11. Row 2 is going to be Bobby Rattery in the 20. And starting 4, it's going to be Tracy Wolf in the 21W. Row 3 is going to be Mason Rodden in the 49 and Chris Jackson in the 65. Rounding out the field, starting 7th, is going to be 24R of Chris Rattery. So we're trying to get the track prep back in, get it a little bit more racy. Use this as the B mods. These are the final heat races of the night, so we're trying to work them in, use them as a test to see how racy we can get the racetrack. Then we'll go to intermission. And go ahead and dubbing it up now and getting ready to go racing. Let's go racing, drivers. High side powder coating and fabrication B mods. Heat race 1. Coming back to 1 to go. We're gonna run them just a little bit. Try to work the track back in just a little bit more.
The My Race Pass app is your motorsports headquarters on race night. With over 800 organizations across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the My Race Pass app today in Google Play and the App Store. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Here we go. Finally going to go racing here for the B-Mods. Lights are out. No, back on, back on, back on. Now we're going to go racing. Lights are out. We're going to go green for the B-Mods finally. Cody Crabtree and the 14C, Waylon Dimmitt, and the 11 to lead them to it. The high side powder coating and fabrication B-Mods are green. Good start from the front row. We're going to be 3 wide for 4th. But it's going to be Waylon getting the early advantage over Cody. And the 14C going to go back to the bottom. Waylon's going to go to the top side. It looks like Waylon's really working the outside line. That is working out for him now as they're 3 wide at the back. That's Jackson on the bottom of the 65, really working it. But went from almost last to 4th in line there. If you're low and slow on the bottom, nice and smooth, the bottom line works. But anywhere between the bottom and the top, it just doesn't go anywhere, as we saw there from Cody in the 14C right through the middle. As he slides up, just loses all rear grip and just doesn't have that drive on exit. Chris is reeling him in. Then Bobby Rattery in the 20. He's starting to reel him in. Chris Jackson on the bottom, really trying to show the fender. Well, show the tire, I guess, for these modifieds. There ain't no fenders on them. Just peeking the nose on the bottom. It's opening up the door every time that Cody runs that middle lane. Here comes Chris Jackson on the bottom. Now he's going to look to the outside line. Almost some contact between Rattery and Jackson. Here we go to the bottom. Chris Jackson tries it once again. Gets a good run off the bottom lane. They make a tiny bit of contact. Chris Jackson moves to second, but now Cody Crabtree is going to try to fight it back on the bottom. Doesn't have the rear drive, though. So move Chris Jackson into the second spot. And it looks pretty racy for the moment. But Waylon out to a straightaway lead as White's waving in the air. Waylon Dimmitt starting the outside lane. Likes that top side. Looks like he's got enough grip to handle it. But as he comes off of turn 4, he's going to win the high side powder coating fabrication B-Mods Heat 1 win. J.C. Newell in the 83 is going to lead him to it with Jeff Albright on his outside in the 86. Carter Harrison in the 18C, and Oakley Ragland in the 15R. Donnie Betts in the 68, and Luke Aitken going to be in the 35, and we're racing for Heat Race 2 for the B-Mods. 6 cars, 8 laps the distance once again. Good run from the top side from Jeff Albright. Goes to the bottom lane, just isn't there, doesn't look like it, tries to wash up. It just doesn't have that drive to the middle. As soon as you leave the bottom, it just doesn't have the rear grip. You can't launch off the corner, and oh, he gets to the outside wall. That's going to hurt the rear end. If we could check the right rear on it when he goes, the right rear tire's got white walls on it, so that could hurt him. That could tighten up the car. As much as these rear ends move in these dirt cars, the rear end could be hurt in his car. That could tighten him up just a little bit, which could help him. As slick as this racetrack is, hasn't hurt him yet, but you see everybody liking the outside line. So what I mean by drive is how much grip you have to push your car forward on exit. So right as they get into the grippy stuff up top, that's why it's working out so well, because they can keep their foot in the gas without spinning the tires too much and keep moving their car forward. But when they go through the middle, it's essentially spinning tires like a drag car off the line. Just doesn't have the grip. But now for second, that's the battle on the racetrack. Carter Harrison to the bottom. And see, he just doesn't have that rear grip. He's okay through the middle because that line is shorter, but just doesn't have the forward momentum to keep going on exit. He's going to try it once again. We're coming to the line. White flag's going to be in the air for J.C. Newell, but the battle is for second. So J.C. Newell is going to take the B-Mod Heat Race 2 win, and the battle is for second as they make a tiny bit of contact, but it was a good race throughout. Jeff Albright able to get it at the line there. Carter Harrison in the 18C comes home third. So that is going to do it for the heat races. We're going to go ahead and do the intermission now. So go ahead, all you kids go stand right in the middle. We're going to get the Frisbees out and be throwing them for the super stocks. Alrighty, we got the super stocks coming out on the straightaway. Got all the kids down there in the middle, ready for the Frisbees to be thrown. I see y'all down there waving. Y'all ready for some Frisbees? Alrighty. Shane, you down there? Everybody getting over there? Shane's usually the one on the mic. I'm usually behind the wheel when he's on on the mic, so good to see him back with the microphone in his hand. Turn it down. It's hard to hear you, Shane. Alrighty. Are we going from first to last or last to first? Alrighty. It's going to be Derek Brown throwing it first. Derek Brown, driver of the number 11. First throw. Makes it over the fence, and they go wild. Dive and catch. Remember, drivers, if you don't make it over the fence, you start last. Kevin Brown in the 112 is going to be throwing it next. He'll be starting second in the A feature. We're going to go to the third, Logan Thompson to the 16. Down to fourth, Tim Brown in the 111. He's going to be next to throw it. He'll be starting fourth in the feature. So all you kids down there, make sure you know that when you're catching these Frisbees, whatever car number you get, there you go. That's our buddy Draven down there, the flag man. The flag boy, we'll call him. All right, going in fifth is going to be Ace O'Neill in the 2A. That one went sideways. Just throw it over your head, backwards. There you go. All right, up next is going to be Peyton McDowell in the 21. Be starting sixth. Do not see him. We're going to go to seventh. Michael in the 164. He'll be starting seventh. He's going to go ahead, hopefully get a big throw. Big throw, big throw. Somebody's got to start throwing them. You can't just be handing them. That ain't as fun. All right. All right, next up's Alcoa. Hopefully I said that right in the 40. Alcoa? Alcoa. Don't see you down there. We'll go the 56 of Mark Davis now. We need somebody just to look backwards and throw it over their head. That's a good throw. Mark's played with a Frisbee before. There we go. All right, Mike Cole in the C4. Almost made it that time. That one was upside down. Diving catch all underneath the flag stand. Don't hit your head on the ladder. That'll end bad. Terry Williams is up next, starting 11th in the 27. All right. Don't think he's down there. Steve in the 44S. He'll be up next. He'll be starting 12th. See if he can get over the fence. I saw him say he ain't throwing it. There you go. There you go. Make him run for it in the grandstands. Don't get no splinters. Don't fall through the stands. There you guys go. So that's going to do it for the Frisbee throw for the Macadoodles Super Stocks. So all you kids that got a Frisbee, remember that car number and that driver that you got. Make sure you guys root for them in the race, because if they win, you're going to go down to victory lane with them. So make sure to keep that Frisbee in hand and know your driver. Alrighty, race fans, are you guys ready to go rock and rumble for some racing? Here for the A features. We got them started up. Gonna try to work in the track after the rework just a little bit. Keith's headed up to the flag stand.
Pure stock drivers, thank you guys for being here once again. Now we need to roll the track.
Pure stocks are out on the racetrack here for 15 laps. We're gonna try to roll the track in just a little bit. So we'll do the lineup here in a minute or two. But the Show Me Dirt Pure Stocks 15 laps to send them green.
They doubled up. Couple laps here, roll the track in.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and give you the lineup. James Reedus in the 0 is going to lead him to the green. Derek Davis in the 14 on his outside. Chris Tunley in the 71. In third, Jeff Reed in the 23R in fourth. Richard Adams in row 3 in the 32, and Trent Houston in the 19. Row 4 is going to be Austin Wilson in the 17, and Mason Beck starting 8th in the 41. In row 5 is going to be Derek Lamp in the 174, and Michael Willoughby in the 28W. In row 6 it'll be Trevor Ellingson in the 42, and Greg Dykstra in the 13. Robert White in the 5, going to be starting 13th in row 7, and Charlie Sloan in the 5S starting 14th. And rounding out the field in 15th is going to be Todd Mock in the 8. We're going to have them speed them up just a little bit, try to get a little bit more on the racetrack. So we got, as we go through the rundown, we got the Show Me Dirt Pure Stocks for 15 laps. They're out on the racetrack now. You got the Driven to Win Young Guns for 12 laps. And then we're going to have the Ozark Limited Late Model Series presented by Aerovision. They're a 20-lap feature. Then we're going to have the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods for 15. Macadoodle Super Stocks is going to be race 5 for 15 laps. And then the High Side Powder Coating and Fabrication B Mods for 15 laps. So we got 6 A features tonight. 4 15-lappers, 1 20-lapper, and a 12-lapper. So if we see the Super Stocks and Pure Stocks and everything racing as well as it did last race, we're going to see a photo finish again possibly. As nice as the track has been tonight, we'll see what lane comes in as it gets going. I want to give a shout out to Leroy. It is his birthday. He's turning 79 today. So I wanted to give a shout out to Leroy. Couldn't make it out to the track today, but wanted to tell him happy birthday. So we got a lot of birthdays tonight. So wanted to, before the mains, wanted to tell him happy birthday and wish that he could make it out here. But yeah. Working. Alrighty, race fans, we're going to go one to go here at the line. Bump your neighbor, make a friendly wager. We're getting ready to go green. Place your bets. Who you think's going to win it? Let's get racing. What a great night of racing we've seen so far. We're getting ready to start the features. And to lead them off, it's going to be the Show Me Dirt Pure Stocks. 15 laps, James Reedus and Derek Davis to lead them to it. James fires and we're racing. "15 cars do battle. 15 cars, 14 cars make it through turn 1 fine. One stop top of turn 2. Caution's out. And we have a hood up on the 17. We saw this in race 1 from the 28. There is the 17 hood is up. It is not the left side like we saw from the 18 last week. Or the 28, sorry, Michael in the 28W. We saw that before. Now it's Austin Wilson in the 17. It is the right front. So it's probably not as bad. Might be able to race with it, but if he picks up some speed like he is now, it definitely flops. So we're going to have to see. We're going to try to re-rack him and stack him to get him back going. Look at Justin running. That's a man. That is pure athleticism right there. He is running. No, take off his... There you go. All right, he's ready to stock. That is the man in town if you need some race car graphics or anything designed. Justin Day. Pure athleticism right there. But we should be one to go here at the line. rack them, stack them, lock them in, and get loaded. Because they're getting ready to fire. Getting ready to go racing here. Late restart, James and Derek fire back green. Now we have 15 cars. Do they make it back through one like we saw? They're almost 3 wide for the lead. They are 3 wide for the lead, back to 2 as they dive off into turn 3. Here we go on the right rear. Mark Davis Derek Davis rolling the outside in the 14, right through the slick. We haven't seen that happen yet from the Pure Stocks, but they're really working that middle to bottom lane. Ooh, one catches the inside tractor tire. That's Trenton Houston in the 19. As we got the 17's hood is in the air. If we can get that on Show Me Dirt, please, now. The 17 is driving out the left side windshield. Please stay green for a second. Oh, look at that on the live stream. That is... It's just clear to where he can probably see at the bottom of the windshield, but that is perfect. He might be able to see out the right front through the air cleaner hole. But other than that, he is just driving from the field of the track and still actually making some good time. As we go back up to the front of the field, looks like James has gotten clear by at least a car length. Now, it's Chris in the 71 is now moving into it. Now here comes the 23 Jeff Reed and the 23R. Into third, Derek Davis in the 14 moves back to fourth, and Trenton Houston in the 19. Ooh, loose there, not the rear drive. There was no drive from the 71. Chris Tonoli trying to roll the bottom lane. Just that thing looks way tight, and then no rear grip. It's starting to drop like a rock to the bottom of the ocean. As that's the battle for third on your screen. Little touch, but no harm, no foul. Able to keep it green. Lean, mean, and green. Caution's out. Bottom of turn 3 and 4. That's the 5S around of Charlie Sloan. But he is doing a great job for as many laps as we just ran with the hood up on the 17. Major props to Austin Wilson right there. That is some driving. He is going to have to get it torn off. But he did a great job holding on to that thing with the hood covering his windshield for that whole race. Probably didn't need a tear off either. So probably saved him some money on the tear offs. It's going to come to a stop. Be bent just a little bit. Thankfully, it's just sheet metal. Take the hood pin out. It was held on by one hood pin. That was all that was holding it on, and it stayed. Now he's going to get going. So Austin Wilson, now that he's able to see, we'll see if he can work his way through the field and get back up anywhere. 6 down. 6 laps down. It's going to be 9 laps to go. We're going to set the choose cone out there so drivers can choose.
32 behind the 170.
Alrighty, choose cone's going to be out. We're going to double up at the start-finish line. So we got a choose cone now. We can visually see it. Usually we've been having Shane on the race control tell the drivers to choose. So we're going to see as they come to start-finish. You can see the choose cone on the right side of your screen on Show Me Dirt, right in the middle of the racetrack. Oh, they're not going to hit it. They all picked the... They didn't do that right. They tried. We give them effort. They tried. Alrighty, here we go. Lights are out. Here we go. Lights are out once again. We're gonna try it. Here we go. James Reedus in the 0. Always lonesome. Kristen Oley in the 71. And the 23, Jeff Reed on his right rear. We're back racing. 9 to go for the Pierce Stocks. Everybody makes it through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway into 3. Middle lane. Kristen Oley just spinning the tires. Says no. He's going to get a bump draft down the straightaway. Little light push. Might get another bump draft in the middle of the corner. That's the battle for 4th now. They're going to be 3 wide for 4th. That's the 41 on the bottom. Mason Beck all the way down there to the bottom lane. Still 3 wide. And now the top 3 are under a blanket. We got battles all over the racetrack. Everybody's got a battle, buddy. Back 3 wide. That's for 5th now. Oh, they make contact. Almost spin out. We got another 3 wide battle. I think that's for about 7th or 8th. Everybody able to hang on to it. Everybody made contact that lap, and everybody hang on to it. They are 2.5 wide up for the lead. James Reedus is right in the middle. We got the 19 of Trek getting touched a little bit. We got a 71 in the outside wall. Right front tire went down. Caution's going to wave. We're seeing the track be racy, and the Pierce Stocks are putting on a show. Other than the Young Guns and the Hornets, the Pierce Stocks have the least handling and least motor, and they always seem to put on a show. I've always said it for the longest time. The slower the cars, the better the battles. Lets the drivers come out, and they are putting on a show. They were 3 wide for the lead there, center of the corner. Tandem drifting through the corner. We're going to go ahead and go single file. Try to double them up here and see if the drivers understand the choose cone. Chris is on the hook. We're going to try to get him off the racetrack now.
Put the cone out this time.
We're going to put the cone out, so we're going to see if the drivers got it figured out. Draven is still waving that flag down there in turn 1. You can see it in the bottom right-hand corner of on Show Me Dirt, left side of the little screen. He's still down there waving. This whole caution he's been waving. Draven, give me a thumbs up or down if your arm's getting tired from waving it for so much. Is your arm tired? Nope. All right. He shook his head no. I don't know how my arm would be getting tired, but we're choosing now at the line. Everybody seems to understand it now. The tow truck's doing a great job of being the cone as well. There we go. We got it figured out. All right, Draven, get ready to throw that green flag. All right, Draven's got the green, and we're ready to go for the restart. James on the front row, fires early and gets a good restart. Clear by at least a car length. Then that's the battle between Trent and Houston and the 23 of Reed, trying to keep the bottom lane rolling. Seems really racy at the moment. Mason Beck's going to be in the 41, picking up the left front, trying to roll as there's contact between the 5 and 14. Now we're seeing the top 3 close in on each other once again. Reedus, Houston. Ooh, that was tight. And Reed, the top 3. 2 to go at the stripe. Here we go. Can we see another photo finish at the stripe? It's going to be the white. Trent Houston in the 19. Looking to make the move on the outside. They're going to make contact almost on the outside wall. White flag is in the air. Battle for the lead. Trent Houston looking around the outside line. Redix throws the boxes. Caution is out. This race is not over. They made contact across the line, taking the white. And they were able to keep it out of the wall, but that could have been our photo finish of the night. All right, race fans, I need your help. We're going to double them up at the line here, but give me a cheer. Single file. We're going to go single file now. We're going to stay single, but give me a cheer. Who thinks James Reedus is going to come home with a win? Trenton Houston in the 19. He's going to be second, was rolling the outside line. Who thinks the 23R of Jeff Reed's going to come home with it? So it's going to be single file. 1 to go. Tim Day out there on that mean golf cart, looking to line up with these drivers. Thinks better of it, maybe. He's got a good roll cage. That thing is built for safety. but he can run. All right, we're going to go ahead at the stripe, turn the lights off.
174 tagged from the rear.
174, you'll tag the number.
Single file lights are off. Green flag at the line. Green and white together. One lap shootout. This is going to decide it. How good of a restart does Trenton get? Does Jeff Reed try to be aggressive? Or does James not even lead? That was a good restart. White flag, green at the same time. Trenton to the high side. How big of a run does he get off of 2? It's a run, but not going to be big enough. How hard does he throw it into the corner? He throws it in deep on the high side. Working the outside line, but it's not going to be enough. James Reedus gets the win in the Show Me Dirt Pier Stocks. Alrighty. That is going to do it. All right. So we got a little surprise for the next race. It's going to be the Young Guns, but we're going to have Draven go ahead and be the flagger for the Young Guns. So he's going to run up there. He's grabbing his flags. But as you can see on Show Me Dirt and in Victory Lane, James Reedus in the 0.
Okay, announce for
James Reedus climbs out of the car. He gets the feature win for the Pier Stocks. Draven is climbing up the ladder now with the Young Guns. This next class is 18 and under. They are identical to the Hornets, but it's all the young guys in it. So we're going to have Draven go ahead and wave the green flag since he's been doing a good job of it all night long. Thought it'd be fitting for the Young Gun. So let the Young Gun of the flag stand go ahead and wave it. He's going to go up there with his buddy Keith. They got about the same amount of hair. Keith's just got a beard. There you go. Big bump. He's got his green flags. Now the Young Guns are rolling out on the racetrack. So on my lineup sheet, six cars, 12 laps. On the pole, it's going to be Kyle Kraus in the 777. And to his outside, it's going to be Maddox Dunn in the 9. Starting third is going to be Devin McAllister in the 22. And Lauren Heinlein in the 12. Lights are off. We're going green this time. Draven's in the flag stand, ready to throw it. And we're racing once again for the Driven to Win Young Guns feature. Draven did a good job with his double green flags. And we got a good battle for the lead as they head off into 3. Mini slide job in a front wheel drive. That's impressive. Maddox done to the lead. So these drivers have helped build these cars. Tim Day with the Driven to Win program helped these drivers learn how to build these cars, put them all together, and now they're out at the racetrack racing. So it's cool to see that program come to play. See, that hood's still flopping. Tim, make sure you get a middle hood pin for Maddox there before next race. That hood is flopping. It's waving as you guys go down on the front straightaway. Just waves to you. It stops in the corner. So it's Maddox done in the 9. Out in front, Kyle Kraus. Kyle has run second both races this season. He won on May 1st, but since then he's been second on the 5th, and he's running second right now, so we'll see if he's able to find anything really not liking the slick. Done really got that thing sideways, which the Hornets are front wheel drive, 4 cylinders, so with them being sideways, there's not much grip in the rear. It's just wherever the front decides to go. But I think with the slick track, he's figured out how to drive it, go in the corner, lift, let the rear get light, kind of slide around, then pick up the throttle and drive it off on exit. But coming up on a little lap traffic, Lauren in the 12 after her heat race scare. Gonna be able to stay out of the way, doing a great job learning. Little crossover, but did a great job there. Learning the ropes of racing. Just over halfway down. Oh, Kyle on the back straightaway. Smokey gonna stop on the back straightaway. Next time on the leader is gonna be the white flag. Kyle stopped on the back straightaway problem. There's smoke. But Maddox done in the 9 is gonna take the white flag. Draven's waving it. He's done a great job, that flag man. That flag boy, we'll call him. Maddox done in the 9, won the heat race, and he wins the feature tonight. Good race for the young guns. Always cool, the opportunity that they're able to get. And good job to our buddy, the flag boy, Draven in the flag stand. Give a round of applause for Draven in the flag stand. He's hyping you guys up. Give him a big round of applause. Did a good job. I just heard from Tim Day we're going to give the track a little dabble do ya. Yep. Maddox trying to get his stuff off and climb out of that race car. And here he comes, your feature winner tonight for the Young Guns. Maddox done. Late models rolling out on the racetrack now for their feature. Going to be 20 laps, 13 of them. Chris Hawkins in the USA number 1. Going to lead them to it. Mark Tackett in the 4T. Those two led their heat races and won it by at least a straightaway dominating fashion. In row 2 is going to be Kevin Ute in the 53, and to his outside is going to be Camden Perry in the 14. Mike Hammond in the 115, and Miller Roundtree in the 404. Row 4 is going to be Eli Muhlenberg in the 25, and Jesse Tackett, birthday boy, starting 8th in the 5. In row 5 is going to be Ben Piper in the 13, and Ben Tackett in the 3T. In row 6 is going to be Dallas Sales in the 777. And to his outside is going to be Eric Asmussen in the 10. And rounding off the field tonight, in the 13C is going to be Chris Ickman. As we're getting them lined up and letting them figure out the track state before we send them off into turn 1 under full speed. So as you're rolling out, letting them do their hot laps. If nobody heard it, we got the birthday boy, Jesse Tackett, turning 20 years old in the 5. Doing double duty in the late models and modifieds. He'll be starting in the 8th position. Hoping to get a win on his birthday. Good gift to himself. It's a good feeling when you can give yourself that gift. and ready to go green for the Ozark Limited Late Model Series presented by Aerovision. Chris and Mark fire, and we're racing for the late models. Mark with the early advantage into turn one, likes the top side. Chris really tight on the bottom lane. Mark, we saw him like the high side, goes in the corner, pitches it sideways, gets that good rotation through the middle. There are 3 wide for 4th there for a second. Eli in the 25 on the bottom, trying to stay off of the left rear of the 53. Man, it's bumpy. That 53 is bouncing and bumping like it's got a radio station. Ooh, they make contact. That's Kevin Ute in the 53. Might have to come back to him a little bit later on. But the battle is still for the lead now. Chris Hawkins on the bottom. Slowly reeling in your leader, Mark Tackett. Lap traffic's going to be a factor for the late model race. 13 of Chris and 13C, one almost sideways and spinning. But now the battle is side by side for lead. Chris is trying to work the inside line. Chris Hawkins is able to work the bottom lane through the middle and just stay there, but just hasn't been able to have a nose at any point of the corner. So as they battle for the 4th position, 5th position now, you see the 53 trying to hold them all off. You see the battle off of turn 4. There's 3 cars under a blanket. Everybody has a battle buddy. We see the leader, Mark, out front, but the battle for second on the Show Me Dirt live stream. They're going to the bottom. Trying to roll the middle. Mark's run the bottom lane, just doesn't have the rear drive like I talked about earlier. These are crate motors, so they're not super lates like you see from World of Outlaw. They're a lot more affordable and usually a lot better racing, especially on the short tracks. But it has enough power to spin the tires, especially through the slick. And he's just sideways the whole time through the corner. But we're halfway at the start-finish line now for Mark Tackett. And if we could go and on the live streams, show the 53 of Kevin as he goes to the corner. As bumpy as this track is being, at least for him, that could be a setup thing with the shocks. He's trying to get to the outside. They're going to make contact down the front straightaway. He's trying to get there, but as bouncy as it is, it's making that race car tight, and it's making it work around the outside of Chris Hawkins in the USA number 1. So move him into the 3rd spot. As a 3 wide, man, that thing's handling has gone away. No rear drive. But if we can go back to the 53, as I was talking about before, see how that thing is, man, that thing is bouncing. That could be a bad shock. It's working because this track is so slicked off, so it's got the car tight, but it's just bouncing. I hope he doesn't have a headache by the end of the race, but that is how rough dirt tracks could get. But now we're seeing the battle for the lead starting to heat up once again. That's Camden Perry and Mark Tackett out front. Does Camden have anything for him? He's got it through the middle, picking up the left front. He's got a good exit on the bottom. Really working the bottom lane. See, right through the middle, not through the bumps down on the bottom. He has a nose, is going to lose it from the run on the outside from Mark. They're both entering the corner balanced the same. They're the 2 that are doing the same thing as they go in the corner. They kind of get into the corner, jam on the brake pretty hard, get it sideways. But now, Camden Perry able to get around it. We have a flat tire possibly. in the number 1. They're almost going to spin for the lead. And that's a right rear tire flat from the 1. That could have been from the contact with our third place runner, who was the 53 as they made contact. Him and Kevin. You can see the rubber on the racetrack from the tire blowing out. Here comes here comes Chris, as you can see on the Show Me Dirt replay. Trying to get back out on the racetrack after the right rear flat. He'll get back on the racetrack. So now he's got a right rear. Is he going to be able to do anything in 3 laps? We're going to have a 3-lap shootout to decide your winner. Ozark Limited Late Model Series presented by Aerovision. Green, white, checkered, 3 to go. Mark fires, back green. Good restart, they dive off into 1. Eli tried to roll the bottom lane, it didn't work out there. It's going to be Camden Perry with the lead down into 3. They're all battling for the high side as they all go into the 3rd turn. Camden Perry really bottom rolling. It seemed to work out. Mark's still on the high side. The 25 of Eli trying to catch him. The white flag is in the air. Camden Perry took the lead on that restart. Runs that bottom lane like a catfish. He's going to come to the line and win the Ozark Limited Late Model Series victory. Perry did a great job on the bottom and he was able to get it rotated on the bottom, rolled it to perfection. Could have had just a little bit of better tire as well, but it seems like that bottom lane came in as bumpy and rough as that top side has been. The bottom came in and it worked out for that 14. What do you guys think about the Ozark Limited Late Models here at Midway Speedway tonight? There you go. Camden Perry in the 14 in victory lane, getting his stuff off. He's climbing out of the car now. Camden Perry in the 14 gets the win tonight in the late models. Well, up next after this, we're going to have the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods for 15 laps. And then the Macadoodle Super Stocks, my favorite main of the night. Could be another photo finish like we saw in race 1. Then we got the high side powder coating and fabrication B mods for 15 laps. So 3 mains down, 3 mains to go. Well, we just heard on the radio from Tim Day. He just told the Midwest Mods on the radio that if they go caution-free, they are going to – he's going to add an extra $500 to the Midwest Mods for next race. If they can go caution-free for this race, all 20 of them, no cautions, and they get an extra $500 next race. I want to hear it from the race fans. With 20 of them, what do you guys think are the chances of that happening? You guys think that they can do it? No, I see a lot of thumbs down. Not much hope here for our Midwest Mods. Keith, what do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Thumbs up? 1,000 extra? 1,000 extra? Okay, he just said 1,000 extra. If they don't all sit in a single file line this race, I'm going to be mad. $1,000 for the Midwest Mods for next race if they can go green the whole way. Rolling out first, Ben Newell in the 83. He's hoping that they go green all the way. To his outside in the 18K, Tyler Knutson in the 8K. In row 2 is going to be Corey Wilson in the 15. And J.C. Newell in the 84, starting 4th. Row 3 is going to be Aiden Tackett in the 3D. And to his outside in 6 is going to be Jesse Tackett in the 5T. Row 4 is going to be Shannon Geller in the 7G. And Bobby Bryant in the 70. In row 5, rounding out the top 10 is going to be Carter Jackson in the 65 JR. And starting 10th is going to be Caleb Rhodes in the R4. In row 6, Josh Cruzen in the 5, and Tony Fincher starting 12th in the number 1. Row 7 is going to be Zachary Tackett in the 3T, and John Newell in the 14. In row 8 is going to be Derek Messer in the 22, and Sam Keller in 16th in the 21K. In row 9 is going to be the 44R of Randall Cushion, and in 18th is going to be Corey Henson in the 6. In row 10, final row of the night, is going to be James Hintrich, and starting 20th, last on the field, looking to gain some spots, Austin Dixon in the 27. So for who didn't hear it, $1,000 for these drivers next race if they're able to go green all the way. Let's see if they're able to do it for the Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods. War green. They make it through the restart zone to the start-finish line, maybe. They're trying. They look calmer than what I thought. Oh, we're going to have one around. They didn't make it a lap. One around already. And Ben, Tyler, Corey, they're all upset. Not because this race, you know, they're going to have to try it again. I think we're going to have to make it a bounty every race now. All right, well, that one lasted long. Original restart. Race fans, you guys were right with the thumbs down. That was not going to happen. Who thinks they could go green from now? No, thumbs down. I see a bunch of thumbs down. So it's going to be... That would be very unfortunate if they go green the rest of the way from now. That would be very unlucky. They still have to run 20 laps. They're full 15. They haven't completed a lap, so they still have to run the 15, but caution was thrown. They're checking the 83. Make sure his fuel cell's capped off. We're here. All right, race fans. Tim just said double or nothing. Double or nothing, $2,000 now for next race if they can run green. So for $2,000, do you guys think that they're able to do it? So for the ones that didn't hear in the grandstands, now it's $2,000. Tim has said if they can run green from now, it'll be $2,000 next race. So oh yeah, all right, he's confirmed it. So we're gonna see if that happens. I don't know if there's an opportunity for triple or nothing, but lights are out. We're getting ready to go once again for the Midwest Mods. Corey Wilson and Tyler Knutson. Fire, and we're green. Good for now as they dive off into one. Exit of turn 2 now. Side by side. Ben is now back on the racetrack. He was on the lead. He's back out now. But Tyler Knutson takes the lead. Knutson out front. Now in second is the 84 of Ben Newell, or JC Newell, sorry. Everybody's fighting for the top lane for, it looks like, 5th. They're 3 wide now, going into 3. Oh, as they almost make a little bit of contact. Big up high side. That's Rhodes up top in that red machine. They're still 3 wide. That's the 70-70. That's the 77 and 65 right in the dead middle of your screen. Oh, clips the inside tractor tire from Jackson. He's been running really low. I was waiting for that to happen, but he made that little mistake as we head back up to the front of the field. Knutson out front. Now under pressure from the 84. That's JC Newell. Are they able to do it? I think Tim Day might be starting to sweat. Halfway next time at the line. The battle for the lead is heating up. They're going to make a little bit of contact for your lapper. They were able to survive it, but now we got a race for the lead. Tyler Knutson and JC Newell looking for that spot for the lead. Best battle on the track is the one for the lead. But as I'm scanning through the field, everybody seems to have a battle buddy. Somebody they're racing around, somebody they're chasing. Big screen, still your leaders. We've had multiple cars pull to the inside, into the infield. There's contact. 2 are going to go around, and 3 and 4. And the money is gone for the Midwest Mods. They made it past halfway. Tim Day was starting to sweat, but now not going to be able to do the payout. 9 laps completed. It's going to be 6 to go. Trying to get them back going here. We're going to Try to double up here soon and do the choose cone.
Late models are good.
So, Lake Area Liquidators Midwest Mods, trying to get everybody hooked back up and get going. So we're going to do the choose cone here in a second. Track seems to be cleared up. We're going to have Super Stocks up next, and then some modifieds back out, the B mods. So hopefully these Midwest mods can get their grips underway. So we are, you see Justin Day, the Peak Athleticism Icon Graphics Design Choose Cone down there with the man that has got the cone. Decided he should probably move because the way that they've been racing under green, probably not the best decision to stand out there. So Tyler picks the top. JC goes to the bottom. Everybody liking the bottom. 3 to the bottom. 2, 3 up top. 1 bottom. 1 top. 2 top. 3 top. All right, everybody understood it there. 9 laps in. So here we go. Lights are going to be out this time. Going green. Let's see if these drivers can make 6 laps. Starting to feel like an iRacing race. You get running, you run 3 laps, then you got to wait 20 minutes under yellow. So we'll see how it goes for this next 6. Tyler Knudsen in a restart zone, fires back green. Good restart from 2nd and 3rd, actually. Newell going to throw the slide job, big slide job. They all make contact. 15 had to check up. He's not going to like that at all. He's going to try to pay him back with a big slider for himself. He's able to get clear, but I bet he is not happy. He had to jam on the brakes hard to get back and let JC get up the racetrack. Caution's going to wave once again. Not sure where at, but caution waves once again. Line back up once again. Tyler Knudsen still out front. Shannon in the 7 on the bottom, and JC Newell in the 84 to the right rear. We're racing once again. One lane, Tyler to the top side, Shannon on the bottom. Shannon Geller try to roll it. JC still working the outside line. Seems to be the preferred lane at the moment. Everybody like it, but Shannon's doing a good job on the bottom lane. It's working a lot better than the rest of the field. The 65 and Chris Jackson trying to roll it just a little bit high into the slick stuff. Shannon's doing better than anybody on the bottom right now. Picking up that left front as the battle for the lead is starting to heat up once again. Next time by is going to be the white flag. JC's reeling him in like a fish on a rod. The fire is coming closer, and the battle for the lead is starting to heat up down the back straightaway for the final time. Does JC have anything for him? Into 3. Doesn't try to do the Hail Mary slider. It's going to be back-to-back for Tyler Knudsen. Got the mayhem out of the way. The drivers were able to get along with it. So it was the 8K gets the win. JC Newell gets second. And the 15 of Corey Wilson comes home third. friends and family running down there. As he's got his helmet off. He can hear you now, race fans. Climbing out of the car of the 8K, Tyler Knutson. Gonna be up next, my favorite class of the night, the Super Stocks. Smackadoodle Super Stocks 15-lap feature. Gonna be rolling out on the track here in a second. Track seems to be pretty good top to bottom. They all seem to like that bottom lane there in the heat races. Smackadoodle Super Stocks rolling out on the raceway now. Got a good stack of cars. Anybody in it can win it. All 12 of them are pretty competitive enough to where anybody could go through the field and win it. On the pole is going to be Derek Brown in the 11. To the outside is going to be Kevin Brown in the 112. Starting in row 2 is going to be Logan Thompson in the 16 and Tim Brown in the 111. In row 3 is going to be Ace O'Neill and Peyton McAdow in the 21. Yeah, Michael Muskrat in row 4 in the 164. Alcoa in the 40. Going to be starting in P8. In row 5 is going to be Mark Davis in the 56 and Mike Cole in the C4. In row 6, starting 11th, Terry Williams in the 27. And rounding out the field is going to be Steve Cushion in the 44S. Alrighty, here we go. 15 laps on the board. Macadoodle Super Stocks. We're ready to go racing. Kevin Brown on the outside. Derek Brown on the inside. The Browns firing. We're green. Great start from Derek. At least 2, 3, maybe 4 car gap out in front. Lap 1, give it to Derek Brown. Kevin Brown trying to run the outside line. Then you got Tim Brown in third. Battle for fourth. They're side by side. Logan Thompson in the 16. Peyton McDowell in the 21 in that Mustang, trying to roll the outside line, run that middle. He's doing a good job of it, but the battle is first through. Whoa! That was a squeeze. The 44 is going to be slow. Lap traffic in the way. We're going to see Ace try to roll the outside line. They're going to be 3 wide coming up on lap traffic. Ace is going to get messed up majorly here after almost winning race number 1 by that narrow margin. He ran it on the top to get second. Now he's pinned on the bottom, trying to get around Logan in the 16. Ace around in turn 1. Can he keep it going? Gonna try to keep it going, but caution lights are on, and we go yellow. Here we go, back for the restart. Derek Brown to the lead and fires. Battle is for second. Tim Brown on the bottom. Kevin Brown in the 112 on the outside. Tim Brown low and slow on the bottom. Kevin Brown wound up on the high side. Tim, good corner there. Didn't bog down or get too tight. Great corner, able to clear by a car leak over Kevin. So it looks like in the Super Stocks, everybody's liking that bottom lane a lot more. Driving it a lot straighter than what we've seen throughout the last 3 main events. Last 4. See where that track is starting to slicken off. You can see the dark patch. The darker the track is, the more straight you have to drive it, because of it's getting down to where that's laying the rubber, so it's driving more like an asphalt track than a dirt track at the moment. That's why everybody's fighting around the bottom, finding that grip where the moisture is. But the battle between Logan and the 16 and that Mustang number 21 of Peyton McDowell, it is on. We got one car with a flat. That's the 40 going to try to get off the racetrack, and the caution's going to wave as he goes off the track. Caution waves. Derek Brown in the 11. Gonna lead them back. Michael Muskrat in the 164 all the way from 7th has made his way to the bottom. He's gonna be on the left rear there. Almost timed it perfectly, but had to wait that half a second longer. Tim Brown's gonna run right through the middle lane. Gets a good exit, should be clear, and does. Battle still on for second. It's a battle for fourth just behind between Peyton and Kevin. Keeping it green, one spin, staying green. So Derek out front by at least a car or two. Tim Brown is getting run down by Kevin on the top. And Michael Muskrat and the 164 is looking for any lane that's working. You have a big advantage. Being at the back, you can see what the drivers ahead of you are doing, what lanes are working, what's not. Well, right now, the bottom lane is working for Derek Brown in the 11. Has ran the bottom the whole race, kept that car nice and straight and composed, and he gets the race win for the Macadoodle Super Stocks as there was contact between Tim Brown and Kevin Brown, I believe, entering 3, but Checkers is out. Don't know if we could get a Show Me Dirt replay or not, if we did have one. So I'd like to see what happened there. I don't know if it was just a big dive or just a little touch. It was, if you're watching on the live stream, 2 to go there. Tim Brown, one of the most unlucky drivers in the Superstock field, was leading a few weeks ago in race 1 and made a mistake, spun, wasn't able to get it back, but if you're watching, you can see the replay. Kevin got a major run, and then down into, nope, this still ain't the white.
What do you guys see in turn 4, the race of deal?
On the replay, you can maybe see it. Nope, maybe. Just see contact and timming around. But I got the young fan there with the Frisbee running down there. He's climbing out of the car now. Derek Brown, your winner in the Macadoodle Super Stocks. Good job to the young fan down there with the Frisbee getting a picture.
What was the time on that?
Should I add the $500 bonus to the beam on?
Rolling out for the final feature of the night. 15 laps down. High side powder coating and fabrication B mods onto the track now.
Drivers, you can stay
Alrighty, as we're working the racetrack in here, gonna go ahead and give you the rundown of the field. Leading it to the green is gonna be the 65 of Chris Jackson. To his outside is gonna be Waylon Dimmitt in the 11. Row 2 is gonna be J.C. Newell. And in 4 is gonna be Jeff Albright in the 86. Row 3 is gonna be Cody Crabtree in the 14C. And Carter Harrison in the 18C. Row 4 is going to be Bobby Rattery in the 20 Rat. And in 8 is going to be Oakley Ragland in the 15R. Row 5 is going to be Mason Rodden in the 49. And the Donnie Betts in the 68. Row 6 is going to be Chris Rattery in the 24R. And Luke Atkin in the 35. Then to round off the field, 13th, row 7 is going to be the 21W of Tracy Wolf. Lights are off and we're getting to go racing for the final time tonight. 15 laps the distance. High side powder coating and fabrication B mods are ready to rip. Ready to rumble, the gun is loaded. And Waylon fires and we're racing. Dead heat at the stripe. Caution's out. There'll be no start there. We're going to have to go re-rack them. Gonna do it once again. Has to fire on Chris. Whenever Chris goes, fired early, gotta get a restart there. Now we're back to racing. 15 laps. What lane does the modifieds go in? Waylon looked to the bottom, decided to go back to the high side. He's gonna sneak to the outside of Jackson there, and he's gonna take the lead. Take a complete lap number 1. Effective high side early. Chris not able to get the bottom to work now. He's going to go to the high side. Then same thing with JC. He's going to follow him right in there. In the 18, Carter Harrison is going to move into the 4th spot around the outside line. Albright moves down a spot. And the battle on the racetracks for 6, so they're side by side. Contact down the back straightaway. One's going to go around. The left rear's flat. Maybe the rear end knocked out of it. A big hit. Caution is out. They touched down the back straightaway. Looked like they were 3 wide for a second. Had a tire hop and it knocked the right rear tire off, or the left rear tire of the 49. Don't know if we have a Show Me Dirt replay. I doubt it, but Draven's down there still waving that flag. I see you down there, buddy. He still ain't tired after all these yellows from the Midwest mods and all the cautions from the modifieds. He's still down there waving it. Draven, when you're working, you ain't got a bedtime. You can stay up as late as you want when you're flagging. Alrighty, this time by we're gonna go 1 to go. Choose cone out there, everybody was able to choose. Lights are still on. We're changing a tire. Going to have somebody come back on the track, jump into the back of the field, and then we'll go back green. That's the 49. Mason Rodden able to get back on the racetrack after the flat tire. Lights are off now. We're going to go back green. Lap 4 here. Whoa. We're gonna. There we go. Got it. Quick fixed. Here we go. Back to the restart. Waylon fires back green. Good restart there. Chris trying to hold the bottom lane. Just isn't got the rear drive. He's going to go back to the top side. Top 3, 4 to the top. Top side seems to be the dominant lane so far in it. Very slick through the middle like we've seen all night long. You don't want to make the mistake, but now that it's gotten to the high side, you don't want to jump the cushion and make the mistake yourself. Cushion seems to be pretty safe. Everybody seems to be able to run it, liking it. Just make sure you don't jump it. But Chris Jackson, so far as one's going to go around, everybody should be able to avoid it, and they do. The 15 goes around all by himself. Oakley Ragland in the 15R. Right as I was talking about not making the mistake and getting bit by the cushion, just a little bit too much, or possibly was just a little bit too low in the slick, and it went around on him. Choose cones out once again. One bottom, one top, two top, one bottom, one top, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. All right, that's the way it was chose. The Icon Graphics choose cone is pulled back now. And the brakes are pulled back because we're racing once again. Chris gonna throw a big slide job off into one. Waylon's gonna see it, crossover, race down the back straightaway side by side. He's got the top lane, able to cut him off, trying to pinch him, make sure he can't get it. Now, what does Waylon have? Chris Jackson to lead after a great restart. Timed it perfect. The one's gonna go around on the top, big wreck off into one. Everybody's gonna be involved. 3, 6, 7 cars down there. 6, 7 down there. Cars involved. There you go. Draven's down there doing it. There he is. He's waving the flags uniquely. 18 got up there all by himself, and everybody tried to avoid. Everybody just slides in. Contact with the doors. That's the big one of the night. But a great start from Chris Jackson to take the lead. Oh, couldn't have it any better. Choose cone is out. So here we go to the choose. One bottom, one top, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. Peak male athleticism grabs the cone. Icon graphics, choose cone. Caution lights are still on. We're gonna wait. Eight down, 7 to go for the B mods. Oh, what was that? That was a little swipe. But here we go for the restart. Chris fires back green. Little slow hiccup down the front straightaway. They're 3 wide. Everybody stays rolling. So Chris Jackson out front, with the 83 of J.C. Newell into second, and Whalen all the way back to third after leading for most of this race. Has struggled ever since. This one's going to go around in 2, able to keep it going though. We stay green. So top 4 have pulled their gap. 5 cars now single filed out. Then the next battle is for 6. So here we go. There could be debris on the back straightaway, we're hearing. Caution's out. Big debris on the back straightaway. Can't tell what that is. Could be a quarter panel. It's got fender braces, as we can see on the camera. Fender brace, or not even sure what that could be. Let's see when they pick it up. 11 down, 4 laps to go. Final 4 laps of the night. That is a door. 11 down, 4 laps to go here. Final 4 of the night. Chris Jackson all alone on the front row. Waylon and JC right behind him. Great restart for Chris Jackson in the 65. Waylon trying to do the slide job is not going to work as well as it did for Chris. JC stays second. Waylon back to third on the bottom. Almost 3 wide for fourth as they come off of turn 4. 18's going to try to roll the bottom. Carter Harrison trying to do it. We haven't seen it all night on the bottom other than the super stocks. It seemed like everybody else has liked the outside line. Next time by is going to be the white flag. Great battles in the back, but everybody's liking the high side. Chris Jackson going to take the white flag with at least half a straightaway lead. As there's a caution, big problems in 3 and 4. This race is not over. If I see a replay, I will talk about it, but if not, one thing you guys got to remember was the way that Chris Jackson got the lead. Got a great restart and threw a slide job and was able to get around Waylon. Waylon did not seem too happy about it, and I think considered throwing the slide job that last time, but it got too tight. If he can line up a better restart and throw the slider, how aggressive will he be? Here we go, attempt number 6. 6-3 start for the B-Mods. It's a 1-lap shootout to decide a winner. Who's it gonna be? Chris Jackson, Waylon Dimmitt, or JC Newell? Chris Jackson with a good restart. Waylon's gonna throw a big slider haymaker to try to get second. Not gonna be enough for the lead. Now it's the battle for second. They're gonna go to the corner, make contact. Able to finish it though, and Chris Jackson comes away with the win. So Chris Jackson, your winner. We saw the contact as they went into 3 and 4. That was JC Newell in the air. And Waylon Dimmitt tried to be aggressive and try to chop and run the bottom. You saw he tried to run him down, but just came down on JC. We know the top was working, so I'm questioning his decision on trying to pinch him. But here we go. They're talking, and 3 and 4 are not looking too happy with each other. They're definitely not happy with each other. After all the cautions, angers, have finally... I'm not too good at lip reading, but I can tell you they're not too happy with each other. We saw how well the top was working, so I'm shocked that Waylon tried to run the bottom or kind of throw that half slider when the top was working so well. We're taking a look at it on the replay. Just looks like wheeling down the racetrack. As soon as they touched tires, they both went around. But right now in victory lane, Chris Jackson and the 65. After a great restart, taking the lead. One of the best moves we've seen all night. Able to get the race win. Alrighty, race fans. Well, we appreciate you all coming out, staying out as late as we did tonight, watching some good racing with the late models, showing up Lake Ozark limited late models, all the great classes we had, great racing tonight. So we appreciate everybody coming out, everybody watching on Show Me Dirt. My name is Kay McClenny. Got Shane up here in the booth. Thank you everybody for watching on the stream at home, and we'll see you guys in the next one.